Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Back down here, got Joe's boat again. We are back down on the river. We went a little further down into Red Wing. It's gonna be kind of a zoo down here today. It's mid-March. It's gonna be like 70 degrees or 60 degrees, something like that today. Got a couple, Joe's got a couple guys with him, so we're gonna have a boat full. It's gonna be 4 of us in the boat today, so hopefully the fishing's a little bit better this week than it was the last video that got some views, but we didn't catch a whole lot. Apologize for that. Hopefully today will be better. So we'll go jump in the boat and head up the river or something. Hang on, I'll be right back. Settle down, buddy.
Angry fish.
An angry fish. That's a walleye. That's straight up walleye there.
It is 15 inches.
And that is, yeah. Yeah, flip that one or you need a net? Big one or little one? You just gotta smile and hold it up for the camera back there. Or the one, there's one behind you now too, so. We're covered on all angles. Settle down, buddy.
Angry fish.
An angry fish. I think it's a walleye. That's straight up walleye there. See, straight up walleye.
That's cool.
No spots on the dorsal fin. Just, what's that? And that is, yeah, 17 and a half. We need a picture to send Kyle.
You can hold it up.
I can hold it up, pretend I caught one. See, that's my job. I get to take fish off the hook all the time. You can fish 2 rods down here. And I will do it until I get tired of fooling around with 2 rods, which won't be too long here. I got one just plastic, and then this has got a blade bait on it. So, how heavy a jig are you running there, Joe? I think I just got a quarter on here. I might have to go heavier. I'm messing around putting a heavier jig on, I think. Whatever I got on there now is just not bumping the bottom like it should. Hey, here's the deal. I never seem to remember to tell you guys what we're using when we're in the boat. So here's a short break from the action, and sitting in my driveway, we're gonna take a look at some of the baits that we've been using, some of the stuff that we talk about, so you can kind of get an idea. All right, so here's kind of a quick look at some of the stuff we use and the back of my messy truck here. But all right, so one of the things that we talk about, dragging plastics a lot. That's kind of real popular this time of the year, is dragging plastics. So take a look at what we're talking about here. It's essentially just a jig head. I get some better pictures, but this is a Walleye jig head. This is a Kitech swim bait. Essentially what you're doing is you drop it to the bottom. You're usually going with the current, going downstream with the current or upstream and trying to find the current seams. And you're just essentially hovering this right on the bottom, drop your tip down, feel the bottom, pick it up, and the fish smash it. So let's take a look at a few different types of plastics here, if my voice holds up. All right, so we have an assortment of plastics here. These are the Authentics plastics. We use a lot of these. They're like a ringworm. They make them in a paddle tail. They make them in an actual worm with a curly tail on it. They call them moxie. But they come in like about 30 different colors. And you would do good to have some of all of them. I mean, here's my box set. These are ones that we get used, taken off, put back on. Got all kinds of different colors. This happens to be, this chartreuse color happens to be a really good color for me. Like I was just showing you the Kitech. Got a bunch of different Kitech colors. Different types of jig heads. This is a Berkeley that's got a really strong hook in it. These Walleyes are really good. They're sharp, a little bit weaker hook in them. Some of the beef fishing tackle hook are kind of nice if you're fishing around a lot of wood because it's a lighter weight. And I mean, that's a smaller one. I got different sizes. It's a lighter weight hook, but it's a lighter weight hook, but if you hook into a tree or something, you can straighten them out. And again, like I said, there's all different colors of the Kitechs that we carry with us. I've actually started, if you've seen some of my other videos, I'm making some of my own baits now. These are some that I made that are made with pretty much the same mold design as the Kitech. There's not a lot of difference between these two. Kitech's a little fatter. It's got a hook groove in it, but so it's kind of my little side project I got going. Been working on some nice colors. Got some nice chartreuse ones I like here. Just some single color with flakes. So here's a kind of a shad pattern. that we like to use. Another thing we use a lot of is blade baits. And they are just so it says it's a blade. Got them in different colors, different sizes, different shapes, different weights. Essentially what it is, it's a weighted blade with treble hooks. And you can fish it like a jig, drop to the bottom, just kind of give it little pops. It'll vibrate coming up. It's a reaction bait. They usually hit it on the way down, or when it's sitting on the bottom, they'll hit it. They come in different sizes. Like I said, different sizes, different shapes, different finishes. It's just a gold one. Let's see what else we got going here. We cannot forget about hair jigs. This is one tied on like a, trying to remember which one this one was. This is a VMC Moon Eye jig. I like these, they're pretty heavy. And I got just, some different types of hair jigs, different styles of heads on them, different shapes. As you can tell by looking in here, I'm a big fan of, down on the river is perch. Perch is a great color down there. Let's talk about, all right, another technique that we use aside from dragging plastics is we talk about a Dubuque rig. Minnesota is real restrictive on how many lines you can use. Most lakes, it's 2 in the winter, 1 in the summer. Where we fish on the Mississippi is a border water with Wisconsin, and we are allowed to use 2 lines, 2 fishing rods when we're fishing on the river, unless you want to try a Dubuque rig. Oops. And it's essentially, I've got a 3-way swivel, got about a foot of line going down to a 3/8 ounce, one of those Google-eyed jigs. This one happens to have a 4-inch Kitech Easy Shiner, and then off of that, you can see from here to here, about 2.5 feet of line with a small jig. And this is just a Northland. This is like a 16th ounce jig. You don't need a lot of weight on it, because what it's going to do is, as you're dragging your plastic, so this will be dragging on the bottom, this will be off and behind you. What it does is you maintain bottom contact with the bigger bait, and then you've got a smaller option dragging behind it. And a good option for that is minnows, or I found that I started using some of the 2 or 3-inch Kitech crappie baits. Work really good. But either way, hook that up and it gives a fish an option. Do they want a 5-inch bait or do they want a 2-inch bait? And of course, when live bait is working, this will keep your live bait on the bottom, give them the option for plastic. But adding the Dubuque rig, you can put a minnow on this and be pulling a minnow back there too. Or, let's see, I got some pre-tied ones here. Here's a pre-tied rig, same kind of deal, but with this one, I just ran. Got it wrapped up in this box here, but this one I actually have 2 longer shank hooks, and I can run 2 different plastics. So when you're on the river, like I said, I've got all these different colors, different shapes, different sizes. The thing with the river is ever changing. You can have cloudy water in the morning, clear water in the afternoon, clear water in the morning. It's usually clear water in the morning because it's been cold, water's running through. As the day warms up, this time of the year, things are melting, there's runoff, the water gets dirty. Or you can have clouds at one part of the day, sun the next part of the day. That can change moment to moment. You can be just crushing them on a natural bait at one point in the day, and the sun comes out. Now that they stop biting, switch your baits. The best advice I can give when you're fishing the river is keep changing stuff. when you're fishing with your buddies or if you're fishing 2 rods, never fish the same bait on both rods until you know that that's the bait they're looking for. And then when they stop biting, it's time to start switching again. Constantly switch, keep your options open because the river is ever changing. All right, well, that covers most of what we've been doing on the river so far this spring. One thing I didn't cover because I don't have one out here with me is it's called a Miller rig. Miller rig is similar to a Dubuque rig, except you run an ounce, ounce and a half, 2 ounce weight, like a stick weight. And then up from that, you'll run 2 full-size jigs tied on about maybe a foot, 18 inches, maybe a foot for the first one. And 8-10 inches up from that, you'll run a second one, but you tie a loop knot with your jig. And that's a good one for, you can pull that one going upstream. And we weren't using it, we just had too many people in the boat today. But you drop that down, you can maintain bottom contact while still going upstream. You don't have to worry about your line coming up on you. There are other times of the year too where crankbaits are an option or jigging wraps. But this time of the year, for the most part, we've been having our luck on just plastics. We're not big into minnows. We don't drag a lot of minnows. So we didn't have any today. But minnows, plastics, current seams, keep changing colors. That's kind of a rundown on tackle and tips for today. So let's get back to catching some fish.
Smith was texting.
I took the day off. He had to go to work. He said, "Oh, I'll see you at work." I said, "No, you won't." "Oh, you took it off?" I said, "Yep." Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's see here. Could have used a net, but I've been watching a lot of boat flipping videos.
Wow, that's a beautiful.
Hey, the picture up here.
Beautiful.
Show everybody what the bait of the day is.
Did you get that on one of yours or what?
No, this is one of the Kitech. This is an actual factory one here, but it's a Kitech on a
That's what I'm using, except you got a 1/4 ounce head.
1/4 ounce. Yeah, I think I should go with a heavier one.
Yeah, I got a 3/8 ounce Google Eye.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over to one of those. I think so. Oh yeah. That one I might want a net for. He's kind of, but thank you, sir. There you go, Joe. You got your camera? You have to send me this. I got my cameras tied up doing video work, so. That's a dandy. Oh, your snake, or is that his? All right, well, that's a wrap. Did a little better this time than last time. We caught a few more fish, actually, a few to bring home. I was a client trip. Joe was entertaining a couple of clients, so it's a lot more business talk than actual fishing. So didn't look like it was fast and furious down there, at least midday here. So yeah. It's a beautiful day to be out, and we'll do this again pretty soon. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.